viewers, and a beautiful weekend to you. Can a company founded in one country truly belong to another? Can millions of Nigerians legitimately call MTN their own, even though the company was born in South Africa? And perhaps the biggest question of all, why is MTN's chief executive making this argument now? Just as anti-migrant protests continue to shake South Africa. Those are the questions emerging after MTN's Nigeria's chief executive officer, Carl Toriola, publicly declared that MTN Nigeria is a Nigerian company true and true.
Now, MTN Nigeria specifically is a Nigerian company through and through. We are domiciled in Nigeria. We're listed on the stock exchange. We pay all the taxes and duties and levies that we're expected to in a very responsible, compliant manner.
The timing of his remarks is impossible to ignore. They come as anti-migrant protests continue across South Africa, forcing hundreds of Nigerians and other African nationals to return home under government evacuation programs. Businesses linked to South Africa have increasingly found themselves caught in public debate, with some Nigerians questioning whether South African companies operating in Nigeria should continue enjoying widespread patronage while Nigerians face hostility abroad. Against that backdrop, MTN's message appears clear. Do not mistake MTN Nigeria for a foreign company. Speaking during an interview with Arise News, Carl Toriola challenged the common perception that MTN Nigeria is simply an extension of South Africa. Yes, he acknowledged, the MTN group was founded in South Africa, but according to him, that does not make MTN Nigeria a South African company in the way many people assume. Is origin the same as ownership? Or has MTN Nigeria evolved into something far more Nigerian than many people realize?
And we've come out forcefully to state that. And ultimately, a lot of conflicts come down to economic issues, okay? The state of the economy, jobs, etc., etc. But I like the fact that you mentioned that we are a South African headquartered company. Yes, MTN was founded out of South Africa. And it's listed on Johannesburg Stock Exchange. But in reality, only 50% of the shareholding of MTN is African. 27% is North American. And then you have the United Kingdom, Europe, Middle East, and the APAC regions. So yes, labeled as a South African company, but in reality, it's actually a very, very diverse shareholding.
Toriola argued that the company is incorporated in Nigeria, listed on the Nigerian exchange, pays taxes to the Nigerian government, and is overwhelmingly managed by Nigerians.
We are domiciled in Nigeria. We're listed on the stock exchange. We pay all the taxes and duties and levies that we're expected to in a very responsible, compliant manner.
He revealed that apart from one executive, every member of MTN Nigeria's executive committee is Nigerian. Even more striking, he said the company's expatriate workforce consists of only 4 people. If Nigerians run the company, pay taxes through it, and own shares in it, should it still be viewed primarily as a South African business? Then came perhaps his strongest argument. According to Toriola, more than 201,000 retail investors directly own shares in MTN Nigeria, while approximately 11 million Nigerians hold indirect ownership through their pension funds. That figure changes the conversation entirely. If millions of Nigerians have a financial stake in MTN, who exactly would suffer if Nigerians turn against the company? South Africa or Nigeria itself? It is a question that deserves careful thought. Around the world, multinational corporations often operate across dozens of countries with investors from every continent. national identity becomes increasingly complex. Is a company defined by where it was founded, where it paid tax, where it employs people, or where its shareholders live? In today's global economy, can any major corporation truly belong to only one nation? The MTN chief executive also addressed another controversial issue: the recent increase in telecommunications tariff. Many Nigerians view the tariff adjustment as another burden during a period of economic hardship. Critics accuse telecom companies of prioritizing profits while ordinary citizens struggle with inflation and rising living costs. Toriola rejected that interpretation completely. According to him, the tariff increase was not driven by greed, but by survival. His explanation was blunt. He said telecom operators were on our knees financially. According to him, revenues had become so strained that operators struggled to pay their routine operational expenses. If the companies themselves were struggling to survive, was the tariff increase unavoidable? Or should consumers still bear the burden of corporate financial pressures? That is another debate many Nigerians are likely to continue having. Toriola revealed that MTN invested approximately 390 billion naira in capital expenditure during the first quarter alone, exceeding its reported profit after tax of 359 billion naira over the same period. His argument is straightforward. Rather than extracting profits, the company says it is reinvesting heavily to improve service quality. But will Nigerians notice the difference? Or will complaints about dropped calls, slow internet speeds, and disappearing data continue despite the massive investment? That brings us to another issue many subscribers will immediately recognize: data consumption. For many years, customers have accused telecom operators of rapidly exhausting their purchased data. Toriola strongly rejected allegations that MTN deliberately depletes customer data. Instead, he argued that background applications installed on modern smartphones consume far more data than many users realize. Automatic backups, software updates, and constantly running applications, he said, are often responsible for the unexpected disappearance of mobile data. Will that explanation satisfy frustrated customers? Perhaps not. Many Nigerians continue believing telecom companies should provide greater transparency about how data is consumed. Others argue that consumers themselves need to better understand the technology they use every day. Is the problem hidden phone settings, or are customers justified in demanding greater accountability from telecom operators? Then there is the broader political context. As xenophobic tension dominates headlines, South African businesses operating across Africa inevitably find themselves under greater public scrutiny. Some Nigerians have called for boycott. Others argue such actions would only hurt Nigerians employed by those companies. MTN's response appears designed to address precisely that concern. By emphasizing Nigerian ownership, Nigerian management, and Nigerian investment, the company is effectively arguing that attacks on MTN Nigeria would ultimately harm Nigerians more than anyone else. Whether that message succeeds remains to be seen. Public perception is shaped not only by fact, but also by emotion. Xenophobia has created deep anger across many African countries. Governments are evacuating citizens. Families are abandoning businesses. Communities are questioning the future of African integration. In such environments, corporate identity becomes far more than a legal question. It becomes an emotional one. MTN Nigeria's position is unmistakable. The company says it is Nigerian in ownership, Nigerian in management, Nigerian in taxation, and Nigerian in its economic contribution. The South African roots of the wider MTN group, it argues, should not overshadow the reality of what MTN Nigeria has become over more than 2 decades of operating in the country. So what do you think? Is MTN Nigeria truly a Nigerian company despite its South African origins? Or will many Nigerians continue seeing it differently? And should multinational companies be judged by where they were founded or by where they create jobs, pay taxes, and generate value? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoy fearless analysis that asks the difficult questions shaping Africa today, please like, share, and subscribe. Because sometimes the biggest stories are not just about politics. They are about identity, ownership, and the future of an entire continent. I am Cassie Tony, and a beautiful weekend to you.